What is up, guys? Reaper's Douche out here giving you guys my first video to this new series called White Guy Stories, and it's gonna be called sorry, I messed up. It's gonna be called My First Fight. So it starts off in the third grade, and it was against me and this, we'll call this guy Brian, me and this guy named Brian. So me and Brian were hanging out, and you know, we were cool at first, played football at the park, you know, always hung out, talked about girls, whatever. So until my girlfriend at the time, Sarah, came up to me and she was saying that Brian was talking shit behind my back, and I didn't believe her at first. But then after a while, after she kept telling me, I was like, okay, now I gotta start looking into this. So I talked to Chad and I confronted him at first, but he said, no, it's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, okay, all right, that sounds good. All right, whatever, man. I forgot about it until she kept instigating about it and kept telling me about it. And I was like, okay, something's got to be straight here. So I went up to her and I was like, no, I went up to Brian. My bad. One take. I went up to Brian and I was like, is this true? Because she keeps instigating about it, and he was like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it, you little pussy? Well, he didn't really sound like that. He sounded like, what are you gonna do about it, you little pussy? So I was like, oh, well, this is like one of those moments where you just find out your friend has been backstabbing you, and now you gotta do something about it. So I was like, okay, I got two choices. I could just let it go and walk away, or I can man up and do something about it. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you, little punk ass. I didn't sound like that. I was like, I'm gonna fight you, little punk ass. So like, I was like, okay, all right. Now I've done all that. Now I gotta actually do it. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh man, we're gonna actually fight. I can't believe I'm gonna fight this guy in my first fight. So I was like, man, I gotta man up and do this. So I was like, okay, man, you know what? I'm gonna handle this. You got 5 minutes to prepare yourself, and I gave him that 5 minutes. But in reality, I wanted that 5 minutes because I wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna mess up my first fight, and I was in the third grade. You know, just something's gonna be messed up for sure. So I gave him the 5 minutes, and we ended up going to the I was like, oh yeah, so I guess I'll meet you in the basketball courts, huh? And I said it all cocky, and like the basketball courts at the time was like the Mortal Kombat arenas. So like we all met, so I was like, all right, man, I guess we're fighting at the basketball courts. And he was like, I guess so. But he didn't sound like that, you know. He sounded like a little punk ass bitch. So he was, I was like, I walked away, and I remember me next to the monkey bars, and I was practicing my moves because I didn't want to mess up. And I only had 5 minutes. And you know, this was back in the third grade, so I'm young. I'm like way too young. I wanted to make sure I look good in front of all the girls, in front of everybody, and I was like, okay, I got this. I got this. So I ended up going to the basketball courts, and it was already crowded. Like everybody, I guess, in that 5 minutes knew in the PE, like everyone in that PE class knew in that 5 minutes that we were all gonna fight. I don't know how they found out in 5 minutes. I guess they're all ninjas, but we all found out. So we both ran in the middle, and I looked at him, and I was like, we're gonna do this, dick. And he was like, bring it on, asshole. And then we just he ended up like pushing me first. No, my bad. I ended up pushing him first, and he like kind of like tripped me, so I fell to the floor, and he tried to jump on me, but then like he tried punching me, and I blocked it, and like I kept blocking it, and he was messing up. It's like fighting me, and like I said, we're in the third grade, so like we're all improvising. I'm improvising my fight. The whole crowd is improvising. So we were all chilling there, and well, not chilling. He was aggressively trying to beat me up, even though all he was doing is trying to rip my shirt off like he's gay for me. But I ended up like pushing him back, and then I got back up, and I rebounded myself. I was like, I got my bargains back. I'm good. Let's do this for realsies. And so I remember I tried going for a punch, and like he like swinged it. Then I went to another one. I hit him right in the chest, and he fell. And I guess I hit him so hard that it knocked the wind out of him, and he fell to the floor, and he started crying, and I was like, oh man, we're in for it now. So he started crying, and I was laughing. Like I wasn't really laughing. I giggled a little bit until I realized that, oh, this guy's crying. If he goes and snitches, we're all in trouble. And I remember the whisper in the car, like, no one snitch, no one snitch. So like everybody left. The whole crowd separated, and I remember this guy just getting up and walking home like nothing happened. And I was just standing there like, what happened? We're not gonna finish this? And then I was like, I guess I'm going home too, because I don't want to be the only one here, you know, at the crime scene. So I ended up walking home, and I remembered I was going home playing video games, and I remember me thinking, like, I'm afraid my mom and dad will find out, you know. So I was always watching the phone and making sure nobody was like calling. And every time somebody called, I answered it first. I remember that. But The next day, because nobody called that day, I was like, yes, like, no, I'm not in trouble. The next day I went to school and I jinxed myself, and the first thing the teacher says was, oh, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh, great, somebody snitched. So I ended up talking to the teacher, and then he was sitting across from me, Brian, and she was like, did you fight him? And I didn't even get to answer. The guy was like, yeah, he fought me, he like pushed me, look at my shirt, everything's messed up. I was like, shut up, you fag, I didn't even get a chance to talk, defend myself. And she was like, oh, and the teacher just interrupted me because the teacher's a big fat meanie, he doesn't like me. So she was like, I'm sorry, Josh, but I don't have to tell your mom about the fight and the incident that you did. And I remember me looking at the door the whole day, like for 6 hours straight, because I was afraid my mom would come in and slap me like a punk ass bitch in front of all my friends. But at the end of the day, when she was walking with me to my car, it was just actually my dad there, and I was like, oh great, this is even worse. And so yeah, it's all hell broke loose there. But this wraps up my video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see more in this series. Peace out.